Look at that. Bad news, Teofimo Lopez still bears a scar from the George Kambosos fight. 157 days since the George Kambosos fight. That's what we'll talk about in this video. What up, fight world? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Now, leave it to Boxing Ego. Subscribe to the channel to talk about that in which nobody else is talking about. Please subscribe. George Kambosos, he's going on to fight Devin Haney. He conquered Teofimo in Teofimo's backyard. Now, Shakur Stevenson, Oscar Valdez brought out a good crowd. This crowd included celebrities, Jay Prince and others, and boxers like Terrence Crawford, who was out there supporting his homies, Keyshawn Davis and Shakur Stevenson. Brilliant performance by him. Also stars like Canelo. Hey, get the payday. You want payday. I know that. Who was supporting Oscar Valdez. And also guys like Teofimo Lopez. Now, Teofimo, there was like media scrums that you guys can find on the internet. And I seen this and I noticed as the cameras are interviewing Teofimo Lopez that he has a cut underneath his eye. Looks like his left eye. This, if you guys remember, was a cut that was definitely opened in the George Kambosos fight. However, I'm not Teofimo's dad. I'm not his cut man. I am not his trainer. So if I'm not mistaken, I do believe that Teofimo Lopez suffered a cut in the Lomachenko fight as well. And that's what happens sometimes. Headbutts, a southpaw fighting another southpaw fighting, orthodox fighter, whatever. So that being said, I don't know if this is something like scarring and scar tissue that Teofimo maybe had from the past sparring. He had an amateur career, things of that sort. But we definitely know that this cut was definitely opened and exploited in the George Kambosos fight, as Teofimo Lopez's face was leaking in that particular fight in his first pro loss. So interesting things. I have a couple assessments that I want to give you guys. But first, a brief message from one of the channel's sponsors. Roll the clip. The future is now. The Hibernation 5s by Kenichi Bear. Hybrid gaming and lifestyle headphones. Out of the box, you can connect to any console or PC. Bluetooth ready with a low latency USB adapter, color RGB, and extreme bass mode. The Hibernation 5s adjust to you. Whether you need a gaming, travel, gym, or lifestyle headphones, the Hibernations got you covered. The new Hibernation 5s, link in the description. Customize the way you hear the world. Welcome to the nation. As you guys can see from these images, Teofimo Lopez, he has a cut. It still has a scarring. He was leaking very bad and bleeding profusely in the fight with George Kambosos. Later on, his own promoter came out and stated that his esophagus blew up and he couldn't breathe. As we know, Teofimo Lopez has asthma. From looking at the interviews with Teofimo Lopez, it's going to be interesting based on recent Teofimo, every time he's popped out and stuff in the interviews I'm seeing, is one thing I noticed is Teofimo, his face looked fuller, like he looked like he was bigger, like I don't know what his walk around weight is, but even when he was on ESPN recently and there were interviews that were captured of him and he said F Kambosos and F Devin Haney, it might have been for the Nakathila fight. It was a top ranked card and he went. And Teofimo, to me, his face looked a bit slimmer in that particular picture. So I see why he has to move up from lightweight at this current juncture of his career, because he looked pretty big. Like he looked like he was like he added some size. Hopefully he's staying in the gym. These boxers have it hard. You see the scar on his face that no one else is really talking about. Now, the reason why this is of interest is Teofimo came out and said his next fight may be for undisputed, and that's against Josh Taylor. Josh Taylor is a very clever southpaw. I personally think his cap. I don't think Josh Taylor, based on the mandatories he has, the fact that the Tartan Tornado Josh Taylor said he's moving up, I don't see that fight as being next. But in general, if it was like Teofimo saying, hey, we're trying to get that done, that's a 19-0 southpaw in Josh Taylor. So that would be a very dangerous fight, especially if you have scar tissue. Aside from the cut, Josh Taylor's just a good fighter, and he's undisputed currently. So we'll see how it all plays out. But I'm definitely going to be checking for Teofimo's next fight with all of what happened, how it played out, how he lost to George Kambosos. I think this is just a career that you guys are going to want to watch and pay attention to. And I'm curious. I'm curious to see what Teofimo is literally made of in terms of how does he bounce back. He has scar tissue. He's no longer undefeated. He previously went on and said that he was a bigger star than guys like Gervonta Davis and things of that sort. So I'm just curious to see how he bounces back. I think possible fights for him, if it's not Josh Taylor, maybe a guy like Arnold Barboza Jr. But 140, brand new division, new challenges. Maybe the guys can take your power better because they themselves are bigger guys, maybe big punchers, maybe a bit more durable. But from looking at this picture, I don't even see how Teofimo was making 135. He looks pretty big for that weight division. So we'll have to see how it all plays out. Very interesting times. Teofimo Lopez with a scar. Been a while. I get, it's going to take time for the scar to heal, and we'll see what Teofimo's next move is. Keep it locked on the channel. I got a lot of new content coming soon, so make sure you guys subscribe. As always, hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video is Ego signing off. Are you tired of your YouTube videos not getting any views? Well, consider TubeBuddy. I've used TubeBuddy for years to scale up my YouTube channel. Now we're sitting over 200,000 subscribers. TubeBuddy is a browser extension that offers a ton of built-in productivity and time-saving services to take your channel to the next level. Use my link in the description to get started with TubeBuddy and level up your channel faster. We working.